Hi, today I wanted to share with you part 2 of the ways my family and I have reduced our waste in the kitchen. And if you missed it, 2 weeks ago I shared a video with 7 beginner swaps towards zero waste in the kitchen. And today I will be sharing another 7 swaps. These are a little bit more advanced. We did them after we did the first 7 that I shared last week, and now we absolutely love them. Before we get started, I do want to mention that the most zero waste thing you can do is to use what you already have at home before going out and purchasing something new. So keep that in mind as we go through these 7 swaps. The first swap is chopsticks. My family and I really enjoy making and eating sushi as well as pad thai, and we enjoy using chopsticks to eat those foods. In my house, we have some metal chopsticks that my dad brought to us from China about 10 to 15 years ago, and we also have some wooden chopsticks that my mom purchased on our visit to Japan. But I know Amazon offers a variety of reusable chopsticks. The Jiling Forestry Industry Group estimates that China produces about 80 billion pairs of disposable chopsticks a year, and Japan uses about 24 billion pairs a year, or about 200 pairs per person every single year. Greenpeace China estimates that about 100 acres of trees need to be cut every 24 hours in order to keep up with the demand of disposable chopsticks. And similarly to what I said about straws in the previous video, if you're not using any chopsticks at the moment, there is no need for you to make this swap. And as far as going to a restaurant that gives disposable chopsticks, you can bring your own and use them instead of the disposable ones. I know now during COVID, a lot of restaurants are closed anyways, so when you get the takeout, make sure to request no chopsticks in order for you to use your reusable ones at home. The second swap is to use silicone mats rather than parchment paper when you're baking something. Parchment paper is actually not really a paper, it is a paper that is coated with silicone, making it neither recyclable nor compostable. Therefore, the more eco-friendly option is to use the reusable silicone mat, and the ones I've had for the past 3 to 4 years, and I bought them on Amazon, so I'll try to link those or a similar one down below. I really enjoy them because it is easier to cook with no oil on them. And if you have watched any of the recipe videos where I bake something in the oven, you would have seen me use a reusable silicone mat. I absolutely love them, and I don't think I could ever go back now. The third swap is replacing your plastic wrap with a soy wax wrap or a silicone wrap. Since it is so thin, it is not recyclable, and therefore it will go to the landfill and sit there for a long time, slowly becoming microplastics that can eventually come back to us through the water streams. But the other issue with plastic wrap is that so many produce nowadays are covered in plastic wrap when you go to the grocery store to buy them. So do your best to avoid plastic also when buying your produce in the grocery stores. But I know it is hard at times, or that the cheaper option is the one with the plastic wrap. So just do your best and don't feel guilty if you do need to buy any food wrapped in plastic wrap. Just do your best to reduce your amount of usage. In my house, we have the soy wax wraps that we like to use for when we use part of a produce and we're not done with it and want to save it. The other half I would cover with the soy wax wrap, and that way I can put it in the fridge. But we actually also found on Amazon these circular silicone wraps that are perfect for if you have a bowl of food that you want to save over. They're more comfortable when you have a container of food you don't have a lid for but want to cover it. They work perfectly, and we use both of these very often and love them, so I would definitely recommend you give them a try. I will try to link some down below in the description box. The fourth swap is also related to food storage, and it is to use stasher bags rather than plastic bags. It is estimated that 4 trillion plastic bags are used worldwide every single year. It is hard to know from those 4 trillion bags how many are Ziploc or food storage bags and how many are the grocery plastic bags, but either way, it is creating an immense amount of plastic waste. In my house, we have been using the reusable silicone bags for about a year now, and we originally bought a few stasher bags, which I believe is the original company that started these reusable bags. And then we have many other reusable bags that we have purchased from other companies, and we did not buy all at once. We first started with 2 bags, then added another 2 because they are a bit on the pricier side, but it is such a great switch. And we do still have a few of the Ziploc bags that we had left over. Don't throw those away, just keep them, and in emergency situations you might end up using those rather than the reusable stasher bags. I really love using the silicone reusable bags. They feel good, they store the food well, and that way I'm able to reduce my plastic waste in the kitchen. I will try to link the ones that we use in my house down in the description below. The 5th swap is to use loose leaf tea or fresh leaves of tea rather than tea bags. Many tea bags come individually packaged inside a bag that is either lined with plastic or aluminium, and actually many tea bags themselves are also lined with plastic. New research has revealed that some tea bags could be leaving billions of microplastic particles inside of your tea brew. There are some brands where the tea bags are made fully out of paper, but the best way for you to be safe is to actually drink loose leaf tea or tea from fresh tea leaves. I'm actually growing in the garden some lemon balm as well as mint leaves, and these are perfect for tea. As well as if I would like other flavors, I go to my bulk store and they have shelves full of loose leaf teas in so many flavors. So I get some from there. Now during the pandemic, sadly, I have been using plastic bags to get my loose leaf tea, but I fill them up and that lasts me for a good 2 to 3 months. So I do my best, and I also keep those plastic bags to reuse for a different purpose. And as far as brewing your loose leaf tea or your fresh tea leaves, there are a variety of methods. I have 2 mugs that actually have little colanders in them, so I can put my loose leaf tea or my tea leaves in there, pour some hot water, let it sit and brew for a little bit, and then I just remove the colander with the leaves and it is perfect to enjoy. Other times there is this strainer bowl that we also have that I use, so I just put the loose leaf tea inside the bowl, put that into my mug as if it was a tea bag, and let it sit and brew for a little bit, and then I enjoy it. And again, I will try to link some of these in the description below. The 6th swap is to compost your food waste rather than throwing it in the trash. Food waste is especially problematic because food in landfill decomposes in the absence of air, and this anaerobic process produces methane, which is one of the most powerful greenhouse gases. Methane is the same gas that is released when cows fart, and that is part of why the animal agriculture is one of the leading causes of global warming. That's why it's so important to compost whatever is compostable rather than throwing it to the landfill, so that this way it can decompose correctly and not produce methane gas. We actually only very recently started to compost, only about 8 months ago, but this is something that we have been wanting to do for a very long time, as we knew the negative effects that not composting our food waste had. And actually, when we lived back in Israel, there was a communal compost, and we would collect the compost in our house, and my dad would take it over to the communal compost. So it is great to now have it again here at home, and we have already used some of the compost we created inside of the veggie garden. It's just beautiful to see how things that come from the ground go back to the ground, rather than knowing that it will be laying in a landfill where it will decompose and produce methane. And I really recommend that you give composting a try. If you have a big backyard, maybe you can get a compost bin. If you live in a small apartment, I know there are a lot of composting companies that will come and collect your compost for a monthly fee. And there are other solutions. So really do a little bit of research and try to compost, because it will reduce the amount of methane you contribute to. And it also feels really great to see that your trash bags feel much slower, because a large part of what you used to put in the trash is now being composted. The seventh and final swap is using a soda stream rather than purchasing bottled sparkling water. My family actually used to use a soda stream when we lived in Israel. I believe soda stream is an Israeli invention, and almost every household in Israel has a soda stream. And when we moved to the US, we tried to figure out how we can install it here, but we didn't find a way pretty easily, and instead started buying sparkling water bottles. But over time, we noticed that we bought anywhere from 3 to 4 sparkling bottles every single week, which created quite a bit of waste, and the majority of the sparkling bottles were actually plastic bottles, and just like the plastic water bottles, they will be staying on Earth for about 450 years, slowly disintegrating into microplastics that can later come right back to us through the water streams. So we really wanted to avoid it, and about 2 months ago my mom started researching up again how we can actually install a soda stream, and finally she found out that Walmart actually sells one, and that you can fill the gas tank that you need at Bed Bath & Beyond. So we purchased that, and for about a month now we have been using it. I personally do not like sparkling water or any other sparkling drink, so I haven't tried it, but the rest of my family has been enjoying it very much. So this is a great swap if you're regularly buying disposable bottles of sparkling water and you want to find a more eco-friendly solution. This is it. And yeah, those are the 7 more advanced swaps in the kitchen. And if you didn't see the beginner swaps, make sure to check out that video next. I will link it in the description below, as well as up here. So yeah, definitely watch that one. And don't forget that living low waste or zero waste is a process that takes time. And all of these 14 swaps that I share with you between the 2 videos took my family and I between 10 or 8 years from the beginning till now, and we still have more swaps to do, more improvement to do, but this is our journey, and I really hope that this video inspired you to make some changes in your kitchen in order to reduce your waste. Just like I told you in the other video, to choose 1 or 2 swaps that you want to start already this week. Again, I would love for you to pick 1 or 2 swaps that you think you can do pretty easily and start right away, and keep adding to it every time a little bit more in order for you to reduce as much as possible. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like. Also, if this was your first time here, make sure to subscribe down below to join the Living Life Simply community and never miss another video. Also, please share this video with whoever you think might find this helpful, because every little change that every person does will help the planet. I actually saw this saying a while ago that I really like, that we don't need one person doing zero waste perfectly, we need millions of people doing it imperfectly. So please just share it in order for this message to reach the furthest. And also, let me know in the comments below what is the first swap you will take into your kitchen. I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!